I might have a special treat that I can add to your siyum. I might have a special treat. But that means that if you want to keep this deal with me, you have to be facing forward, listening very carefully, and b'sheket. So give me a thumbs up if you want to do this deal. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Okay, great. So let's get started. I need a volunteer. Rafal, come up. We're going to do like a short, like a 30-second skit. Rafal. But b'sheket, remember. Rafal, this is your apple. Rafal, I really, really want your apple. Can I please have it? No, tell me no. I can't have it, but let me think. Okay, I really want it. So what can I do to make Rafal give me his apple? You know what, Rafal? How about I trade you? How about we do a little business deal? I'll trade you this fruit roll-up for that apple. On trade? No? No, now you say yes. Okay, so we trade. Great. Now you can take that to your seat. Don't eat it now, but you can take it to your seat. Now, Banim Bano, what just happened here? Shh. What just happened here? Who can explain to me what just took place? Sarah? Exactly. Right. So really what we did, Banim Bano, is what we did was we made a business deal. You made a business deal. Raise your hand if you trade snacks. Every day during Haftarah. I see it all the time. You all trade snacks, right? So what you're really doing is doing a business deal. If any of your mommies and daddies are businessmen or businesswomen, yeah, some of you are. So what they do a lot is they say, well, this person wants this to happen, and this person wants that to happen. Let's make a deal. Let's trade. Let's work it out so that everybody's happy. So in these Parshiot, in Parshat Behar and Bechukosai, it's really a business deal between Hashem and Bnei Yisrael. So I'm going to explain to you what that means. So in a business deal, there are rules. And if you follow the rules, what do you think happens? Nahama? Exactly, you get something good out of it. And sometimes, if you don't follow the rules, then what? If you don't follow the rules of the business deal, then what, Tamar?
Then something bad happens.
Then something bad happens, exactly. Then something not so good happens. So I'm going to tell you now what happens in Parshat Behar and Bechukosai. Hashem says, Bnei Yisrael, listen, I want to make you a deal. Soon you're going to be coming into Eretz Yisrael. And I want you to take care of the land. You're going to all get land, and I want you to take care of it. But what do I want you to do? I want you to work the land. What does that mean? I want you to plant. I want you to cut your wheat. I want you to gather your fruits. I want you to take very good care of the land. For 6 years, take care of the land. For 6 years, work the land. For 6 shanim, work the land. And then on the 7th year, I want you to let the land rest. Don't touch the land. Let it take a break. Just let it do its own thing. Does anybody know what this special year is called? The 7th year. It has a special name. I don't know if any of you know it. Maybe you know it from learning Parshat HaShavua last year. Devorah. Shemitah. It's called the Shemitah year. So every 7 years is a Shemitah year, and we let the land rest. That means that the land is not even really ours. Shmuel, let's say you have a field, right? And you work the land for 6 years. You work it, you plant, you grow fruits, you grow wheat, you grow everything. It's your field. On the 7th year, Hashem says, Shmuel, now it's the Shemitah year. You let the land rest. Well, Nechama's walking by. It's the Shemitah year. Nechama's walking by, and she sees an apple in your field. Guess what? Nechama doesn't have to call Shmuel up. Hey, Shmuel, can I please have that apple that's in your field? No way. It's not really considered your field. During that year, the land is just the land. It's not even yours. And Nechama can take that apple without asking permission. We call this hefker. Hefker, that means like it's really no man's land. It's really no man's land. That means even though it's Shmuel's field, Nechama can still take the apple during the Shemitah year. Now show me with your etzba'ot. What number year is the Shemitah year? Show me with your fingers. Exactly. And on the Shemitah year, what are we not allowed to do? Raise your hand. Rak yadayim. Hil Rachel.
We're not allowed to
Work the. We're not allowed to work land. Exactly. Which means we can't plant, we can't harvest, we can't do any of that. We let it be. Now this sounds kind of similar to another mitzvah that we had. It sounds kind of similar. For 6 we work, and on the 7th, we rest. What does this sound similar to, Shifra? Shabbos. It sounds similar to the mitzvah of Shabbat. How, Shmuel, remind me, how does it sound similar to Shabbat? Why is Shemitah similar to Shabbat?
Because you don't work on Shabbat.
Exactly. And for the Shemitah year, what are we not doing?
You're not working the field.
We're not working the field. We're not working the land. Why do we have this? Who can tell me why this is so important to let the land rest? Raphael?
So the poor people could have food.
Yeah, that's a really nice idea. I love that. I love that idea. Tamara, you have another idea?
Because if the maze is gonna rest, why can't they let the ground rest?
Yeah, exactly. Devorah? You have a question? Can I take it at the end? Great. Right, exactly. And we're going to get to the good and the bad things. Kayla, last answer?
I know another reason why it's like Shabbos, because Shabbos is 7 days, and on the 7th year we rest.
Exactly, that's exactly right. So we said Shemitah is basically, it's equal to Shabbat. Shemitah is Shabbat, but it's Shabbat for the land, right? Because that's when the land is resting. Now Hashem says, not only so this is a cycle. It's not just you work land for 6 years and on the 7th you stop working it. This is every 7 years. So once you have a Shemitah year, the cycle starts over again. So you work land for another 6 years, and then on the 7th year you have another Shemitah year. Exactly. There's something else that Hashem says. In the 50th year of the Shemitah cycle, we also let the land rest. This is called the Yovel year. Say Yovel.
Yovel.
Say it again.
Yovel.
What number year is it? Raise your hand. It's the 50th year of the Shemitah cycle. This is also another resting year of the land. Now I have a question. Why is the land resting so important to Hashem? Why does he want the land to rest? What do you think this signifies? What's so special about the land resting, Shalom?
I'm not sure, but I think
Yeah.
it's because when he was creating the world, he stopped making the land on the 7th day.
Right?
And since it's on the 7th year, he wants the land to rest elsewhere.
Right. So that's why it's similar to Shabbat. That's why this is a Shemitah similar to Shabbat. Exactly. But who knows why even Hashem, in general, wants the land to rest? What is it showing, Devorah?
Because if there's too much work on the ground, it could be bad for the ground.
Interesting. If there's too much work on the ground, it could be bad for the ground. I'm going to take one more answer. Nehama?
Maybe Hashem maybe the poor people could just go and take the stuff. They don't have to drop the stuff. So they just rest.
Okay, that's an interesting answer. I want to tell you what I learned is the answer. Hashem tells Bnei Yisrael to let the land rest because he wants them to have emunah in him. What's emunah? Rak yadayim. What's emunah? Belief. Hashem wants us to believe in him. Hashem wants us to trust him. Hashem is saying, Bnei Yisrael, you are my children, and I love you. I'm your father. Trust me. Don't worry. Because Bnei Yisrael could, of course, be worried if they let the land rest. This is the way that they eat. If Hashem says, don't work the land, Bnei Yisrael could say, what do you mean don't work the land? This is how we get food. This is how we live life. How can I not work the land? Hashem says, Bnei Yisrael, I'm your father. Trust me. I'm going to take care of you. That's why the land rests. Hashem says, have emunah. Trust me. That's why you have to let the land rest, because I want you to trust me. Also, it's very similar to Shabbat. It's so easy for us to say, if I don't work on Shabbat, then how am I going to have enough money to pay for yeshiva? How am I going to have enough money to pay for camp and everything else that we all do? How am I going to have enough money? Hashem says, don't worry. Don't worry. We don't have to work on Shabbat. Trust me. I will take care of you. All of your children will be able to go to camp and school. Do not worry. So that's what Hashem wants Bnei Yisrael to do. That's the first part of this deal. Hashem says, Bnei Yisrael, this is what I want from you. So, and he says, if you do this, a few good things are going to happen to you. Okay. First of all, he says, I'm going to make sure that you have a lot of Why? Because what does that mean? If they have a lot of rain, then what's going to happen to their fields?
The fields will still be growing.
The fields are going to grow like crazy. They're going to have so much produce. The Hashem said, if you keep this end of the deal, this business deal, I'll give you a lot of rain. Say your hands down. Everyone put your hands down. I'm going to give you so much rain. The second thing he says is, B'nai Yisrael, not only am I going to give you a lot of rain, but when you enter Eretz Yisrael, remember, B'nai Yisrael haven't been into Eretz Yisrael yet. So Hashem says, you might be nervous, you might be scared, like when you come in, that you won't be safe. You don't really know what this land is about. You don't know if it's going to be safe or not. B'nai Yisrael, if you keep these rules of the land, don't worry. You don't worry. If you keep these rules of the land, I'm going to make sure that you're safe in Eretz Yisrael. You'll be totally safe. Don't even think about it. Don't even worry about it. And the last thing that he promises you that, B'nai Yisrael, if you keep this business deal with me, if you keep this business deal, Bechukosai, if you keep this business deal, I am going to make sure that you'll have a lot of children so that your nation is going to grow and grow and grow. Your nation is going to multiply. You're going to be a huge nation, B'nai Yisrael. So keep these rules, and not only will you have a lot of geshem, not only will you be safe, but you'll also have a lot of children. So Hashem says, but, B'nai Yisrael, guess what? If you do not keep this, your ends of the deal, you don't keep this business deal, what's going to happen? You won't have a lot of, you're not going to have so much geshem. And what does that mean for their fields? If they don't have geshem, then what? They won't have food because their fields aren't going to grow. And he said also, B'nai Yisrael, if you don't keep these rules, if you don't keep Shemitah and Yovel and let the land rest, I'm going to make sure that you have kol kach harbe oivim. What are oivim? Enemies. Oivim are enemies, right. And if you have a lot of enemies, then you're going to have a lot of what, Yossi? What are you going to say? You're going to have a lot of wars. If you have a lot of wars, then ultimately you're going to get chased out of Eretz Yisrael. So you're going to have a lot of oivim, you're going to have a lot of enemies, and you won't be safe, and you'll ultimately leave Eretz Yisrael. Now, hands down. We said that these parshiot are very similar to a business deal. So, B'nai Yisrael, they didn't really, Hashem makes this business deal, but he didn't write a contract. But right now, I'm going to give you out a contract, as if Hashem wrote a contract with B'nai Yisrael about the law, right? He didn't really write a contract, but if he did, then this is what it would look very similar to this. Listen, yeah, you're going to have to sign. I'm going to give everybody out, and remember, I need to check it. If you want this special treat, we made a business deal at the beginning of this lesson, right? We said, if you listen to check it, I'm going to give everybody out a copy of this contract. It's in English, so it's very simple. You must fill it out. We're making a deal right now. If you must fill it out and complete it if you want this special treat for this season.
How much money will I have?
Don't worry, you have no money. It should take you less than 3 minutes because it's in English, and I'm leaving all the notes that are on the board are the answers to these questions. So it's easy schmeezy. When you finish, turn it upside down on your desk so that I know that you're done, so that I know that you finished it, and I know that I can give you special snacks. Leia, you want to give it out? Gimme. But remember, you must be sitting b'sheket.
How's Hashem talking with B'nai Yisrael if his voice was too holy at Har Sinai?
He did it through Moshe. That's a really good question. He did it through Moshe. That's how B'nai Yisrael knew the law. Torah.
How come actually like 6 days?
7 is a very special number that we see in Torah. Yeah, you could write it in English. Steve didn't get one. So make sure you fill it out, otherwise you don't get the treat. It should take 2 minutes. It should really take 2 minutes. When you're done, turn it over on your desk.